Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idantu te guhyatamam Pravakshyamyanasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajñātvā mokṣase shubhāt Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam Susukham kartum avyayam. Idantu te anasuyave guhyatam pravakshami. You who are free from calumny, from finding faults in others, who are anasuyu, and that anasuya means freedom of asuya, finding faults where there are virtues, stands for all other virtues also. Lord Krishna mentions one virtue, anasuya, which also includes all the virtues which are described in scriptures like amanitvam, adambhitvam. So, Arjuna is a virtuous person and therefore fit for the upadesha of this knowledge. People do ask this question, Swamiji, why didn't Lord Krishna teach Bhagavad Gita to Duryodhana? Because Duryodhana would not have volunteered, would have agreed even to receive that knowledge or upadesha. He would dismiss Lord Krishna. He always dismissed Lord Krishna. He never accepted him as God or Lord. And that's how the mindset is. It must be most amazing that Lord Krishna is in front of you. The Lord is there and he dismisses him. He's just a cowherd boy. So that is the kind of mind that Duryodhana has. And to distinguish Arjuna from those people, Lord Krishna is Anasuyu. To you who is just a deserving student, deserving mukshu, I will give you, impart the knowledge of this truth. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. I will give you knowledge along with Vijnanam, the means of attaining that knowledge. So Jnanam and Vijnanam, as we say, Jnanam interpreted as Paroksha Jnanam, Vijnanam is Paroksha immediate knowledge, or Jnanam is knowledge, Vijnanam is the means of knowledge or bhakti, because Lord Krishna is going to describe bhakti later on. Yajñātva ashubhat mokṣase. Gaining which knowledge you will become free from all ashubha, or for everything inauspicious in life. You say death is inauspicious, ignorance is inauspicious, sorrow is inauspicious, because we don't want these. It's natural that we don't want. All our activities are to become free from inauspiciousness of nature of sorrow and pain and ignorance. Because it contradicts our nature. Even though we may not be able to say that I know I am happiness, but somehow I know it. Somehow I know that happiness, auspiciousness is my nature. And therefore therefore instinctively I do not like unhappiness or sorrow. I do not like death, I do not like ignorance instinctively, because they are opposed to my nature. And love for the self is natural. And therefore, naturally I love knowledge, naturally I love happiness, naturally I love freedom, I love life. Yajñātva mokṣase asubhat, knowing which you will become free from the inauspicious. Yajñātva. Knowing which, or gaining knowledge of which truth, here Arjuna, you will become free from all inauspicious things. By knowing. So Lord Krishna says, Yajñātva, having known which, it means that Lord Krishna presents knowledge as a means of becoming free from all suffering, free from bondage, free from pain, free from ignorance. Which means that it is ignorance because of which we feel that we are sad, we are unhappy, we are ignorant, we are mortal. What all the time bothers me is that I am mortal. Mortality elsewhere doesn't bother me. If I knew that I am not the body, the mortality of the body also would not bother me, because body is death, the body is not my death. What creates problem is when it becomes a problem of I. Or when something gets connected to I, that is when it becomes a problem or a solution also. Therefore, Arjuna, all inauspiciousness is the product of ignorance. Yajñātva, therefore, knowing the true nature of yourself, you will become free from inauspiciousness, because you will discover that auspiciousness has always been your nature. Rajvidya, Rajiguhyam, again praising this knowledge. This is Rajvidya, the king or most exalted among all the knowledge, knowing which nothing remains to be known. Yajñātva neha bhuyonyat jñātavyam avasishyate, says Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter. Yajñātva, having known which, jñātavyam na avasishyate, nothing remains to be known. This is a theme that we find elsewhere also in the Upanishads, that by knowing kasmin bhago vijñāte sarvana vijñātam bhavati iti, in the Mundaka Upanishad, an aspirant approaches a master or teacher and asks him, knowing what is it, knowing which everything as well becomes known. So that is a theme that is presented in the Upanishad in more than one places. Therefore, yajñātva mokṣase ashubhat, knowing which self will become free from Shubha or inauspiciousness, because inauspiciousness is a product of ignorance. It is a result of the false conclusion you have about yourself. Atma, who is of the nature of happiness or auspiciousness, there is no reason why I should ever be unhappy. Because, and that is always a baffling question, the Swamiji, if Atma is of the nature of happiness, how come I feel unhappy? You are not unhappy because Atma is a problem, you are unhappy because of the conclusion or the notion you have about yourself. You are projecting unhappiness upon yourself. How am I doing that, Swamiji? You are projecting limitation upon yourself. Because you are identified with the body, and body is limited in every way, and therefore the limitations of the body are superimposed upon the self, and therefore I look upon myself as a limited being. That I am limited is a notion about myself, not a reality about myself. But this is a universal problem. Everybody takes themselves to be limited. Therefore, it never arises in my mind to question this conclusion that I am limited. Only when I go to the Vedantic teacher that he makes me question these conclusions. We are living our life based on the various conclusions and notions about ourselves. And as it appears, the whole universe entertains those notions about the self. There is never an occasion on my part to question whether what I think about or conclusion I have, is it right or not? Do I have a basis for taking myself to what I take myself to be? Do I have a reason to think that I am a limited being? Do I have a reason to believe that I am an unhappy person? I never inquire into that and I take for granted these conclusions. Yajñātva. So this notion that I am limited is what causes all sorrow which is inauspicious. Yajñātva mokṣase ashubhat. Knowing which you will find that whatever you were entertaining in the whole life was all notional. What became the basis of your life, that I am incomplete or I am a mortal being, was all notional. That the 10th man, I am not the 10th man, the 10th man is lost, is notional. But as long as the notion is not known as notion, it keeps on driving you to do things, so it keeps on searching for the 10th man. Yajñātva asubhat mokṣase, by knowing which become free from asubha or inauspiciousness. So all that is necessary is to know that inauspiciousness, meaning sorrow, mortality, death, or all of these are nothing but the notions about myself. In Vedanta, they call them Brahma or delusions or notions. Because knowledge cannot change anything. Knowledge is like light. All that the light can do is to dispel darkness. So also all that knowledge can do is to dispel ignorance. Yajñātva, by knowing which you will become free from inauspiciousness. That means that inauspiciousness is a product of ignorance. Also, how can knowledge remove that? Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram. Then further Lord Krishna says, Rajavidya, this is the most exalted among all the knowledge. Because as Swami used to say, that when it comes to the aparavidya or the worldly knowledge, you are never satisfied that you know enough. But anything that is anatma, other than you, more you know about yourself, or more you know about that, more you discover what you do not know, meaning that you never feel that you are not known enough. No scientist will ever believe that he has known everything to be known. Never. And that is true also. But whereas all what we call the aparavidya, the knowledge of the worldly knowledge, the knowledge of the worldly objects, never creates in me satisfaction that I have known what all is to be known. More I know, what I discover what I do not know, and that is how my pursuit of knowledge continues. There is nothing wrong in it. Except that knowledge, aparavidya, never gives me satisfaction of knowing what I want to know. Paravidya, knowledge of self, yajñātva mokṣase ashubhat, knowing which you become free from ignorance, free from all this sense of inadequacy, limitation. And recognize that is the only problem that we have. Only thing that causes sorrow in our life is this sense of inadequacy or limitedness. There is nothing else. No, Swami, you don't know what things can cause sorrow. I made a loss in the business. This is what happens in my relationship. So many causes are there for sorrow, and you say this is the cause of sorrow. But nothing need to cause sorrow in me. It is my notion about myself. So when I lose something, I feel that I am less on account of that. When something goes away from me, I feel that I am now more lacking than before. It is a sense of lack or inadequacy about myself that causes sorrow. And I realize that nothing is so. Kasyasvit dhanam, Ishavasya Upanishad says, ma grudha kasyasvit dhanam. May you not covet wealth, because whose wealth it is? Kasyasvidharam. Wealth belongs to whom? It belongs to nobody. It belongs only to Ishvara. And therefore, what you think belongs to you, and therefore you're seeking security at that right, doesn't belong to you. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram. Pavitra means the purifier. Pavitra means that which purifies. We understand Pavitra means that which is pure, but Pavitra is that which purifies. Idam Uttamam Pavitram. This is the greatest purifier. This knowledge is the greatest purifier. In what way, Swamiji, self-knowledge is greatest purifier? Because it removes the impurities which we think they are there in us from time beginningless. All the notions I have about myself that I am a limited being is what causes all the sense of impurity. The greatest purifier. By revealing the true nature of myself, I realize that I was ever pure. Because I am unconnected to any impurity. I am unconnected to anything that is limited. In fact, nothing is impure looking at that way. Everything is what it is body. You want to call it impure and that's your thing, but body, it consists of all so many disgusting things. Well, disgusting. It's very well packed, and as long as they are there, that's when, I'm alive. So there is impurity also, I would think, a notion on our part. All you can say is it is papa or violating the dharma is impurity. Violating the righteousness, violating what is right can be called impurity. Because what is dharma or what is right is purity. But the Lord Krishna will use the word dharma in keeping with dharma. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam. This knowledge is Uttamam Pavitram, most exalted purifier. What does it do, Swamiji? More I learn about myself, more I realize the notions I'm entertaining in this, I give up those notions. This knowledge is nothing but shedding of ignorance. Ignorance persists in my life in the form of the various notions or conclusions that I have about myself. That I am so and so is the first conclusion. It is not a reality about myself that I am so and so. The body is so and so. The mind is so and so. The ego is so and so. No doubt about that. There is something that is limited, something that is mortal, something that is so and so, something that is as possesses the sense of individuality. There is sense of individuality somewhere, but not where I think it is. So what belongs to ego, that sense of individuality, I impose upon myself, look upon I, the Atma, as individual, and therefore separate from others. This separateness is a big problem in our life, that I feel separate from you. Rudranika Upanishad says this separateness is a big problem. Brahmatam paradat, you atmahanyatra brahma veda. Brahma means a Brahmana, it means XYZ, so a Brahmana ousts oneself, rejects the person. Who looks upon Brahmana himself as different from him. Upanishad says that when I find that you look upon me as different from yourself, and what is meant by looking upon you as different from me is excluding you from myself. That this is my boundary and you don't belong here, you're outside that boundary, means I exclude you. That's something, what is wrong with that? You are different from me. I'm different from you. If I look upon you as different, what's wrong with that? Depends on what you think you is and what you think I is. If you think that his body is Swami and that body is you, then it's understandable that you are different from me. But that's not the reality. It's like one ornament thinking that, like, this is a brooch, what is this? This is a necklace. All right. And this is an earring, I believe. So this necklace, looking upon this earring as separate from itself, so that is so Swamiji. Necklace is a different thing and earring is a different thing, so what's wrong with that? Who says I am necklace? When this entity says I am an earring, who is it that says I am an earring? What is it I am that says I am an earring? Think about that, you'll find that it is gold that is saying that I am earring. The eye of this earring belongs to gold. The eye of this necklace also belongs to gold. Gold says, I am a necklace, I am earring. And that's how, when they now interact with each other, they always keep a distance. The earring, the gold, the necklace is one thing, earring is another thing, and therefore there is separateness when these entities interact with each other. And then this is big things, I am a big one, I am more beautiful, you are small, all kind of complexes will be there. So only when this thing came to know that I am gold, this comes to know that I am gold, then that duality goes away. It is not that this thing gets transformed into something else. This necklace does not have to get transformed in order to recognize that I am gold. Doesn't have to get melted, or this also need not have to get melted to recognize that I am gold. Because even when it thinks that I am an earring, it is gold, that I am belongs to gold. And therefore Upanishad condemns this idea of duality. Condemn is a big word, a strong word, but then that this necklace thinks that I am different from earring. The earring rejects that necklace which thinks that I am different from earring. And necklace rejects the earring that thinks that I am different from necklace, because each of them is gold. Understand, therefore, when I look upon you as separate from me, there is already a mutual exclusion and there is a mutual rejection involved in there. I reject it because I look upon your perception of me as a rejection. When you say I am not you, that means you don't include me. You exclude me, therefore my response to you is also exclusion. That is how our life is, we exclude each other. And then that's how the interaction, the vyavahara goes on, based on all mutual exclusion. That's okay. Then we follow basic rules that which call dharma, etc., so that exclusion is as less painful as possible. But ultimately, all sense of rejection comes from exclusion. That you don't include me. I want to be included. Elsewhere also people complain, Swamiji, I am not included. I want to be included. I want to be part of this. I want to be one with you. We may not know what it is that we are seeking when we complain. When we complain about being excluded, we may not quite understand why am I saying that. Because you and I happen to be one, and therefore I cannot accept you not including me in you. If two things are different and they exclude each other, it's quite understandable. So this knowledge here, Arjuna, will remove all sense of separateness. Remove all sense of exclusion. It is separateness, inclusion, exclusion is what causes in me pain. When I'm in a group and I feel that they don't include me, then when I'm separated, that's when I feel the pain. Swamiji, pain comes from many other things, but it comes only from this. No, I don't have money, that's why I'm in pain. I don't have this, I don't have that. But ultimately all of that sense causes sense of limitedness, sense of confinement, and there was sense of being excluded. Pavitram, that is apavitra. This duality means what? Not two. Duality means mutual exclusion is called duality. Anyonya bhava. Dvaitam or duality is not two. It is mutual exclusion. Meaning that that is a necklace and that there is an earring is no problem. The problem is when earring thinks that I am not necklace thinks that I am not earring. Therefore, when they interact with each other, they exclude each other, and that is how, then that becomes the basis of their interaction. When we interact with each other also, I retain my individuality, my boundaries, and you have no entry into that. And you retain your things, I don't have entry there. So that is how we interact with each other, with the sense of excluding each other. We are afraid. If I include you, then perhaps you'll know what's going on in me and whatever fears are there. Pavitram, that is apavitra. That is inauspicious. Duality is inauspicious. Excluding is inauspicious because it causes sorrow. Pavitram idam uttam. This is the most exalted purifier because it removes the cause of sorrow. It removes the idea of duality, of division, mutual exclusion. I realize that even though as a name and form I am different from you who is a name and form, still at the core I am one that you are. Like the ornaments recognizing that at core I am gold. Pratyaksha directly appreciated. This knowledge is directly appreciated. Yet Sakshad Aparokshad Brahma Upanishad says, see, in every form of knowledge I have, that I know this necklace, when I perceive that through my eyes, but between necklace and myself there is a distance. There are intervening factors. This intervention between myself and necklace, that there are eyes involved, there is mind involved, I am there, I think through my mind and look through the eyes and then I perceive this object. And therefore, there is what we call the interference or intervention between myself and this necklace, where the eyes, namely sense organs, and the mind intervene. Therefore, I don't feel oneness with that because it is, therefore, the knowledge level. So, pratyaksha, without intervention. Hey, you know, Lord Krishna says, you know me without any intervention. Only one thing we know without intervention is ourselves. Therefore, here Arjuna, you'll know me as your own self. So therefore, this knowledge is something that is direct and immediate, which leaves no doubt in you, and so it is easiest, he thinks anyway. Lord Susukham, Lord Krishna is very easy to attain. Pratyakshagam, dharmyam, susukham, kartam, susukham, kartam. This knowledge is something that is easy to gain. Because I am the closest to myself. It's easy, why? Because this anything other than myself, such as necklace, always requires pramana, a means of knowledge to know that. In case of knowledge of this earring, the pramana means eyes, let us say, so we need to operate the pramana means of knowledge to know anything other than myself. But to know myself, I don't need any pramana. That I am is self-revealing fact. That I am conscious, self-revealing fact. They are not self-revealing, so they need to be revealed by pramanam. I am self-revealed, no pramanam is needed. So Sukham, the easiest to know. I don't need even my eyes, I don't need even my mind. Susukham, kartum, avyayam, dharmyam. It is in keeping with dharma, means keeping dharma with righteousness. Atma is the greatest righteousness. The fundamental truth is the greatest righteousness, because what is called dharma? Dharma means the fundamental order. Or any action that is in keeping with that fundamental order can be called dharma. Dharma means that which is in keeping with dharma. And what is the most fundamental order? That which informs everything, that which pervades everything, which sustains everything. Atma is the real dharma. The real dharma in our life. Of course, satyam vada, dharmam chara, speak truth, this is all dharma, called virtues, all right. But real dharma, all these virtues of truthfulness, non-violence, all those may have their being in Atma alone. Because the self is in absolute sense non-violent. At the level of the behavior, we cannot be absolutely non-violent. Can't be absolutely truthful. However, how much you want. Vyavahara, there is nothing that's called vyavahara, but everything is relative. So truth also is relative and dharma also is relative. Only one thing that is beyond this relativeness is the substratum, is the Atma. So real dharma is in keeping with Atma. Knowing Atma is the greatest dharma. Pratyakshavagavam dharmyam susugam kartum avyayam. And anything that you attain generally is not subject to distraction. Avyayam. This knowledge is a knowledge of self, which itself is also imperishable. Therefore, knowledge is also imperishable because the object of knowledge, Atma, is imperishable. And therefore, the Arjuna understands that knowing this, you will become imperishable. Knowing that, you will become sukham, happiness. Knowing that, you become harmony. Knowing that, you will become oneness. Knowing that, you become undivided. Knowing that, you become free from all divisions and complexes. Meaning that this knowledge solves all the problems in our life in one stroke. Swamiji, I have the problem that I don't have a job. What will this knowledge do? Do you mean by knowing the self that people ask this question, Swamiji, studying Bhagavad Gita, will it give me a job? Will it give me promotion? What will it give me? It may not give me a job or a promotion, but it will give me what I attain by having a job or a promotion. The self-satisfaction. That this knowledge gives you extreme, total self-satisfaction, which is the goal of all experiences. That's the goal of, that is what is called happiness, meaning self-satisfaction. We are happy whenever we experience self-satisfaction, when I am satisfied with myself. Susukam, kartum, avyayam. So this knowledge gives you happiness which is imperishable. It is knowledge itself is imperishable, the result also is imperishable. Thus in these two verses, Lord Krishna has praised the knowledge. Like a great salesman, we should not call him salesman and stuff like that, it's not right. But the style is like that. That listener, Arjuna, should know what he is receiving is something extremely valuable. When we do not know the value of what we are receiving, then we are not committed to that. We are not serious about that. So, even studying Bhagavad Gita, studying Vedanta also may not create adequate commitment. Swami, there are many other things that I have to do also. And naturally they are waiting for my attention. They are also important. So this has not yet become the most important because we have not discovered its value. So that Arjuna discovers the value of the knowledge that he is going to receive. Lord Krishna has praised the knowledge in the two verses. Elsewhere also, Lord Krishna has, I think most eloquently the praise of knowledge is found here in these two verses in this chapter. And again, this is the style of the scripture. That you praise what it is that you want to prescribe and condemn the opposite. Meaning that you should know what you're going to lose. So these two verses describe what you're going to gain by the knowledge. We should also know what we are going to lose by not gaining this. That also we should know. I'm not interested in these gains, Swamiji, but then you're losing. And not gaining means losing, and then when we know that, then again this knowledge becomes very valuable to us. So in the third verse, either you can say continuing the praise of the knowledge or criticizing the opposite. One is the praise, other is the criticism. So Lord Krishna says, Ashraddhadhana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Ashraddhadhana, Shraddha virahitaha. Those who do not have the Shraddha. Dharmasya asya parantapa, asya dharmasya Shraddha virahitaha atmajnanasya dharmasya asya swarupe tatphale cha nastikaha. Papakarana asurana with the Upanishad, Shankaracharya really uses the word condemning these people who have no Shraddha in this knowledge, meaning no Shraddha in Ishvara, no Shraddha in knowledge, no Shraddha in scriptures. They don't have Shraddha. When you use the word Shraddha, we generally mean Shraddha or the trust in Ishvara. Trust in the scriptures. Trust in the teachers. This kind of Shraddha, the trust, is the basic capital that we need in order to make any progress in this. Ashraddhadhana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa asya dharmasya swarupe tatphale cha nastikaha. That this dharma, the Atma, is Satchidananda, is whole and complete, knowing which nothing remains to be known, knowing which all divisions all divisions are eliminated, knowing which all my notions are gone, knowing which I become completely free. I don't believe, Swamiji, that knowledge of Atma can make me free. That can make me free, make me happy. How can knowledge make me happy? How can knowledge make me free? How can it do that? No, I have to do something. There are people who believe that happiness has to be gained. You have to do purushartha. You must work hard. You can't just become happy sitting here and doing nothing and expect to be happy. So those who are committed to the karma, the karmatas also will believe that happiness has to be gained. Happiness is not you. As you are right now, you are unhappy or lacking in happiness, and therefore you must do something, perform an action, do purushartha in order to achieve the means of happiness, in order to achieve happiness. Happiness is something to be achieved. And therefore, to say that you are happiness, I don't believe. If I am happiness, why don't I feel that? You say Atma is the nature of happiness, then how come I don't feel that? How come I feel unhappy? Therefore, I can't accept that I am happiness. Happiness is something to be gained. I must do something to be happy. Now, when that is your conclusion, then you will always be pursuing action, some means to become happy. Like 10th man doesn't have Shraddha that he is 10th man. 10th man is lost, I know. So, even when he is told you are a 10th man, he doesn't believe. Suppose that his search for 10th man continues. Ashraddhatana purusha dharmasyasti parantapa. Hey parantapa, hey Arjuna, asya dharmasya. All is atma. Dharma means atma here. Those who don't accept the so swarupam, swarupe tat phale chanastikaha. That atma is happiness, that you are what you are seeking to be. And that is just by knowing that you become what you want to be, by knowing you get what you want to get. I don't believe that. That I'm already, you mean that I'm already millionaire, billionaire, I'm already wealthy, I'm already what I want to be, I want to be a king, am I already there? I want to be a CEO, I want to be this. So you say that I'm already what I want to be. How can I believe that? I know that for me to be something, I must work hard. That is all right. But what is it that you are seeking after being a CEO? We're seeking after being wealthy, after being prestige, so after being wealth and fame and power. What is it that you want? I want to be miserable. Nobody would want to be miserable. You want to be happy? The simple goal that we have, the simple thing that we want as a result of every effort is just to be happy. I do not want to be wealthy for the sake of being wealthy. I am aspiring for wealth because I think that that's what will make me happy. If I realize the wealth means so many anxieties, once it comes to me, then I must protect it, and then I think, why is this fellow coming to me? Why is he after me? Why is he not helping me? That you start suspecting everybody. You think that you have to hold on to that, you have to protect it, and you start suspecting everybody. So if it, nothing comes without a price. There were Purushaha, Ashraddhatanaha. They don't believe that I already am what I want to be. That I'm already free, that I'm already limitless, I'm already happiness. That I need not do anything to be happy, I don't believe. Those who are committed to karma, effort, they always say that anything can be attained only by effort. Mimamsakas strongly believing that happiness has to be attained. If you say that you are already happy, what do you mean I'm already happy? I'm not, I don't feel happy. My happiness is in that object, happiness is in Swarga or heaven, so I must perform this rituals to gain that happiness. Convinced? Ashraddha, they don't believe that happiness you gain by knowing yourself. What do you mean? Happiness can be gained only by an effort. When that is a strong conclusion, then this knowledge will not interest you much. As it is, Mimamsakas say that knowing what does it mean? Brahman is already there. What do you know? What do you gain by knowing what is? That I have two lungs, what's the big deal? Suppose you know that. I have a kidney. Okay. I have a heart. You already have, so what is what do you get by knowing what is? Nothing. It is by gaining, acquiring something that you don't have. And you say that I am Brahman. So there is already an existing fact about myself. What do you get by knowing an existing fact? That's the argument, debate that's going on with Bhashyakara in the Brahma Sutra also. Mimamsakas are convinced that happiness is something to gain, and Vedanta says happiness is already there. How can it be? What's the big deal about knowing what is there? Brahman there doesn't turn them on. Brahman is an existing fact. So knowing what is the existing fact, what do you get? Nothing. Karma brings what is not existing. Karma creates what is not there. Karma produces what is not there. Karma makes me reach where I am not. Karma. So That is meaningful in life. Brahman is already there. So it is there. I am Brahman, so what? I am Brahman. If that should make me happy, I should be happy anyway. If you said happiness is my nature, I should be happy, but I don't feel happy. That means I must do something to be happy. Therefore they don't have trust in this knowledge business. With knowledge you can solve your problem. How do you solve the problem of life? By karma you solve the problem of life, not by jnana. By karma, acquiring what you don't have, that's when you get what you want. Happiness. You already are. Knowing what you are, what's the big deal? This is what they believe. The ashraddhadhana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa, he parantapa, those people who do not have shraddha in this dharma. In Atma, the Atma is limitless. The Atma is immortal. The Atma is happiness. I don't believe that. If I was happiness, how come I don't feel it? If I am immortal, how come I die? My experiences seem to be quite contrary to what you are telling me about myself. Therefore, this teaching of Upadesha does not touch the people who are totally turned off because they are so firm in their conclusions. Dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Aprapyamam nivartante, without knowing me, they come back again and again to this life of being, life of becoming. One is life of becoming, where Mimamsakas believe that karma is the means that we must become. They constantly try to become something. We are all Mimamsakas, by the way. They are constantly trying to become something that we are not. Because we have concluded that as we are inadequate. We are not happy, and therefore I should add something to me. I should subtract something from me, then only I can be happy. As long as that belief continues, so long you will not pay attention to what you are. You will not pay attention to the nature of Atma, that you are already immortal, that certainly will not enter their mind. Aprapyamam, even though I am their very self, because I don't trust that the nature of Brahman is myself, aprapyamam nivartante, without attaining me, nivartante, they come back to this life or cycle of birth and death, meaning that they come to cycle of becoming. One is life of becoming. What Vedanta teaches is being, and other is the life of becoming. Becoming of what I am not. Human beings constantly striving to become something that is not. Mrityu samsara vartmani. So, this mrityu vartman means marga. Samsara vartmani, the path of samsara, the path of becoming. Mrityu, which is always pervaded by mrityu of the death. Death means immortality, death means pain, death means sorrow. The life of becoming is life that is sorrowful. Human being is living a life of becoming. Becoming something that I am not. Why is it so? Because I am not satisfied with what I am. Therefore, I want to become something by doing something so that I can be satisfied with myself. I become that. I get a momentary satisfaction also. Now, when we first came to the United States, we thought 25,000 was a big deal, if you have that, that's at the end of life. You got that. Then it became 50,000. You got that. Then it became 100,000. And things of that nature. So, we think that by attaining something, by becoming something, you will fulfill the purpose of life. When you attain that, then you find that still the purpose of life is not fulfilled. And thus you keep becoming. You keep trying, becoming different from what you are, attaining what you don't have, giving what you think you have. This is a life of acquiring what I don't have and giving up what I want to give up what I have. Heya and upadaya. Heya, giving up, which I look upon that as cause of unhappiness. Upadaya, acquiring something that I consider means of happiness. So this is our pravrutti. That is our life can be simply described as a process of heyam and upadayam. Giving up something that I think is making me unhappy. Upadaya, acquiring something that I think will make me happy. And that's how the life goes on. Aprapyamam, in that process, when my attention is always different from elsewhere other than myself, because I think that will make me happy, I never pay attention to myself. Aprapyamam. Lord Krishna says, I, who is that very self, they never attain me, they never know me, because they have taken for granted that they think that they know what the nature of self is. Mrityu samsara vartmani. Like the 10th man will always be searching for the 10th man, and the search will always go on. And that search always brings about disappointment, because he had a hope that, oh, this is where the 10th man is. He goes after all the effort and finds he's not there. Thus life becomes nothing but a series of disappointments. This is called mrityu samsara vartmani. In the life of becoming, which involves the series of disappointments, he returns to that. Therefore, Lord Krishna emphasizes that what Vedanta teaches is the attainment of what is already attained. Praptasya praptihi. Nitya praptasya prapti. Mahatma will say, Nitya praptasya praptihi, Nitya nivrittasya nivrittihi. Attainment of what is always attained and giving up what is already given up. Unhappiness never is my nature, and therefore is given up. Happiness is my nature, always acquired. Thus in verse 3 verses, Lord Krishna creates a background for the rest of the chapter, where Lord Krishna will teach Jnanam, the nature of the self, on Ishvara, and Vijnanam, the means of attaining Ishvara, the bhakti for gaining a knowledge of Ishvara. And then it's a beautiful chapter, one of the most beautiful chapters, where Lord Krishna then praises himself, the bhakti, the mahima of the bhakti, praises his own bhaktas also. And that is how the 9th chapter is a chapter of knowledge, chapter of bhakti also. And Lord himself says, hey Arjuna, listen to the glories of my bhakti. And listen to the glories of, and say that later on, Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. Hey Kaunteya, pratijanehi, you make a pratigna that my bhakta never perishes, my devotee never perishes, my devotee never falls. Thus, Lord Krishna also will praise his bhakti and his bhaktas. So that way the chapter is a very, very beautiful chapter with jnanam, bhakti, bhakta. And also telling us how what we think is extremely difficult, here Arjuna, is not really that difficult, because something that you always have wanted, something that you always are one with, and therefore recognizing that. So this is how Lord Krishna continues to teach in this chapter. Will continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.